A young woman walked into a restaurant and ordered a whole table full of food, but when it was time to pay, she said she didn't have a single dollar on her. The owner looked at her and thought she was trying to leave without paying. The girl immediately said, "I can wash dishes, I can wait tables, I can work to pay off the bill." That was when the owner realized she really had nothing at all. And since the restaurant was absolutely packed that day, he sent her straight to the kitchen to wash dishes and dry silverware. By the end of the shift, he noticed that she was polite, hardworking, and didn't complain even once. So he decided to hire her as a waitress, and he also gave her a place to stay and food to eat. A month later, the owner asked her, "You're smart, capable, and good with people. How did you end up without a single dollar that day?" The young woman replied, "I had just graduated and moved to New York. After I paid rent, I realized I had already run out of money. I had been looking for work for 2 days, but everywhere I went, I had to wait until the first paycheck. I had no way out. So that idea came to me. I just wanted a decent meal, and if possible, I wanted to find a job where I could get food and a place to stay." One day, a man dressed in an elegant suit walked into the restaurant and ordered a classic American breakfast. When he finished eating, he handed her his card to pay. She looked at him and said, "You're not from New York, are you?" The man looked a little surprised, but he didn't say anything. Then she asked him, "Did you like the food?" He replied, "Yes, it was very authentic. The only thing is, when you set the table, the fork goes on the left and the knife goes on the right. A little while ago, you placed them the other way around." The young woman smiled and said, "Yes, I know, but I noticed that you're left-handed, so that's why I arranged the silverware that way." Surprised, the man asked, "How did you know I'm left-handed?" She replied, "I saw you turning the pages of the magazine with your left hand, so I switched the silverware, and I asked if you weren't from New York, because your card is from a bank in the UK. The man let out a quiet sigh and said, "I've eaten in restaurants all over the world, but I almost never come across someone with your level of observation, someone who notices every detail without making it obvious." The young woman replied, "It's nothing, just little details." The man smiled and said, "I lived in the UK for many years, and honestly, you're a very thoughtful and considerate person. Would you like to work as my assistant? I'd pay you $20,000 a month." The young woman said, "Yes, I'd love to, but when I was at my lowest point, it was the owner of this restaurant who helped me. Right now, he's completely overwhelmed with work, and I can't just leave him behind and walk away. If you need to hire someone right away, then I'll have to say no." The man smiled even more, as if he admired her even more now. He left her his contact information and walked away, muttering to himself, "She's observant, she knows how to be grateful, and she isn't blinded by money. That is exactly the kind of assistant I'm looking for." A month later, the young woman started working at his company. The company had just hired almost 10 new employees, and one of them was a young man named Diego. During training, the boss mispronounced Diego's name. He said it wrong several times in a row, and nobody said anything. Suddenly, Diego stood up and shouted, "My name is Diego, not David." Everyone burst out laughing, and the boss looked extremely uncomfortable. At that moment, the young woman stepped forward and said, "I'm sorry, sir. It was my fault. I was the one who